Good morning, Elbi. Thank you so much for being on Open for Business today. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
First of all, I want to congratulate you for being one of the Biz Pitch recipients of, that was really a big deal. Go ahead and tell the audience about what y'all won.
So we were one of three winners for SCORE's Biz Pitch competition. We won $10,000 in cash and prizes, and we've gotten some pretty good press from it too, so I can't complain. I'm really happy about it.
Very good, very good. So what was let's first start with what is your background? What got you here?
So I am a United States Air Force veteran. And then after I got out the Air Force, I went to SCAD for performing arts. I then transition into theater management. That kind of pivoted into diversity, equity, and inclusion work. Kind of got interested in the coworking game and group spaces, and found myself back in Savannah starting a new business.
So your new business is a collaborative workspace, retail space, and a social club all put together. So what do you call it?
I call it the Culturist Union, and yeah, you're exactly right. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Awesome. What made you finally decide that is the area of work that you wanted to go into?
I think that I don't know if anyone else had this problem, but I've always kind of wanted to dibble in a variety of things. And when I was working in the theater, I realized that there was just so many other opportunities to use my, talents and branch off. And I really love working in collaborative group settings. I was always the one who absolutely enjoyed group projects. I know that sounds a little weird, but I really do.
Comes out of it though. Yeah, it's very powerful.
Right. I really love working in collaborative spaces, and I just thought that creating a space where people can work and collaborate and grow both personally and professionally was right up my alley.
Absolutely. And there's nothing like that in Savannah, Georgia. That is your niche. So talk about your niche here. And the overall concept of what you would like the folks to know.
Okay, great. So you're right. In Savannah, in coastal Georgia, there is not a business like this. There are other places that have, sort of the type of business that I have, mostly in major cities. You can find them in Minneapolis, Atlanta, LA, New York, DC, those type of areas. But the reason why I chose Savannah to start the Culturist Union is because Savannah is so richly deep in culture, and we have a large population of multicultural citizens, and we have an opportunity to grow our small business with the communities that we have here. And so I thought that, why not? Why not create a business like this? And like the Culturist Union, that's different from other co-working spaces, is that it's not just a desk and a table. It's not just a private office. It's more cafe style, which helps promote organic networking and collaboration. So you kind of walk in, you open up your laptop, and you plop a seat on a couch or a chair, and you kind of work like that in a space like that.
Before, like a lot of people that are now working from home, they would have to depend solely on coffee shops, and you go get your rent with coffee. but this is just such a much more professional way to do business, because so many of us are working from home now, and you do need that connection, and you do need that time with people.
You're absolutely right. you go to a coffee shop, you may not find a seat, you may find a seat. The crowd may be loud, it may be quiet. It's not a professional work environment. I work from home right now until we open up our space. And I know that I can get distracted with a doorbell ringing, or, you kind of sit on
laundry,
laundry or dishes,
yeah.
or you sit on the couch and you say, I'm going to watch, 30 minutes of news. And then the next thing you know, your whole day is gone. So the Culturist Union is like a solution for that, where you kind of get a little bit of both. You get that coffee shop vibe that people love and crave for a coffee shop price, we like to say, but you also get that professionalism and that opportunity to connect with someone that you may not have connected with otherwise.
So for small business owners, what are the other reasons why it's so important that they actually have a professional space? I mean, what does your service offer?
So,
and what makes you unique? I mean,
So I think also what the Culturist Union is, we have a marketplace, and in this world of freelancing and everyone getting out on the internet and
huge trend,
you need to have what I like to call real life experiences. So it's good to have your product or your services into a space that someone can physically go to, touch, feel, smell, see. And that's another thing that the Culturist Union offers. We also offer workshops and trainings, panel discussion, and events that help you become a better you. And that can range from a panel discussion with an alderman that will tell you about how to get, city services as a small business owner.
Beautiful.
Trivia night where you kind of just let your hair down, to mini pitch competitions, to how to travel solo or how to file your taxes as an LLC. We kind of do a myriad of things.
You're really creating a community, and we need that. We need that in this country.
Oh my God, so much so. I think that there's a big political divide. I think that people are starting to, with the social media microwave society that we're in, I think people are craving real connections. And that's what the Culturist Union wants to provide.
Well, it's a wonderful business plan. And like I said, a lot of judges voted yes for you because the idea is so great. So let's go. I want to ask you some questions. What have been the hardest things with starting your business on this journey?
Probably honing down your pitch. You have this idea in your head, and it's in your head, and then how do you articulate that to people who will buy in and invest and really get your concept? I think that's probably one of the hardest things for me, at least, honing in my pitch.
Absolutely. So how are you going to be able to connect with your audience here in Savannah? What are some really good ways that you have found successful?
So like I said, TCU is all about organic networking. We absolutely hate the traditional networking event where people come in and they have their stickers and you get, you collect 10 business cards and, you probably never use them. They're in the bottom of your purse. And then, you went there and you might have had good, they might have had good hors d'oeuvres, We love experience-based networking. So we do events. We had an event last month where we had a sister circle. We had a life coach come in, and people were able to, connect that way. We had a coffee and chill at a local coffee shop where we had games and prizes and free coffee, and you just kind of get to connect a little bit more organically. We also are on social media because, social media is king right now. And, we have our flyers and we have our little takeaways that, if you see a takeaway in a local cafe or out in the city and you contact us and say, hey, we found your takeaway, we give you a discount on your membership.
Beautiful. What's your timeline for your company? What do you see over the next year?
Over the next year, we want to open our space and we want to crowdfund for founding memberships. I know that crowdfunding is still a little new, but the way that we're doing it is instead of you just being an investor with not much gain from contributing to our business, if you become an early member and contribute to our campaign, you get locked in at a membership for half the cost. You get to stay at that membership for as long as you're a member, and you've helped contribute to the growth of our company. So over the next year, we're going to crowdfund, we're going to open our space, and we're going to provide our services.
You're also going to be contributing to the growth of the small business community in Savannah. I mean, that's huge.
Absolutely. We can't do this without hiring. So we plan on hiring employees. We help to stimulate the small business community. We hope our members, even if they don't have a business, maybe they just want to be around, creative entrepreneurs, maybe they'll launch their business or grow their business.
Right.
Hopefully they'll outgrow the Culturist Union. That's a success story for us.
But it's such a cool way to work. I really feel sorry for people that have to go into work from 9 to 5. I mean, this is just so beautiful that you can go in and come out, and it's so wonderful that we do own our own small businesses and we can design our own life. And
you're absolutely right. When I was in Minnesota, I worked for a theater company. And while my job was great, just the rigorous 9 to 5 coming in, staying there. You might be done with your job at 2, but you got to stay till 5:30, to clock your hours.
Yeah.
When I started working at a coworking space, my eyes opened up. And I was like, why is anyone else working like this? Like, this is so much more, you're more productive, you're more creative, you're less stressed. You can really
Right.
be the version of yourself in spaces like this.
So what is a successful company that you admire?
Right now, I'm all about co-working spaces, obviously. So there are a couple. There's the co-working space that really helped me launch, who the founders are dear mentors to me, is the Coven. They're based in Minneapolis. They're opening up their second location. They crowdfunded and raised almost $400,000. These women, they're first-time entrepreneurs, and they're really
Wonderful.
creating a community. Another is the Gathering Spot in Atlanta. A young man named Ryan Wilson, out of Georgetown, 28 years old, created a space that pop stars like Killer Mike and Diddy and Regina King and Tracy Ellis Ross go to and frequent. Spaces like that. I look to them, I talk to them, I call them up, and I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? And they help. Yeah. So it's great.
That's fantastic. So what would you say is your favorite quote that gets you through hard times or gives you inspiration?
I am a, Maya, and beautiful poet, and she just says, you got to work that process, and it's small, it's simple. I don't think a lot of people lean onto that quote a little bit, but whenever I feel stressed and whenever I feel lost, I have to sit back and I say, did I work my process?
Absolutely. So this show is really about sharing tips and advice to other small business owners. So let's go over 3 of your top tips that you would like to share with other small business owners.
The first thing I would say is to get a team. I strongly believe in networking with your left and your right versus networking up and down. I think that if you can look at your peers, your friends, your inner circle, and draw from their talents, maybe you have a friend who loves to be on social media, offer that person an opportunity to do that for you. That alleviates stress. You guys can barter and bargain
Delegate.
with one another.
Yeah.
And, you may not have to pay them, but you can get some of that work done, and you feel like you have a collaborative team that you can bounce ideas off of.
I think there's studies showing how important collaboration is.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think that everyone is always looking up towards, trying to find a mentor, trying to find someone that can pull them up. But I think that if you look around to your left and your right, you guys can rise together.
Absolutely.
So I think that's one of the things that's helped me. I think the second thing is to get organized and get automated as much as you can. Free programs like GMass, on Google, or Later for social media, or Canva for your graphic design,
Great tips.
Asana, and you can sync your calendar and your projects with people. I think that the more—
Is that what you use?
Yes.
Yeah. And how come you chose that one, like over Basecamp or something?
I just chose that one just because I'm not technical at all, and it was just the easiest one to navigate for me, and it was free.
Yeah, I like the looks of it too. Yeah, we've been on Basecamp for almost 20 years, and the whole idea of having a shareable office online is just awesome. It's a game changer.
Yes. It's so easy to get in there and see what someone's progress is and send them a quick note, and just, we don't have to have 20 different phone calls or 20 different emails going back and forth. It's just—
How did they do business back in the 60s and 70s?
I think that all the time. Like, oh my gosh, I'm spoiled because,
Isn't it wonderful? I know. This technology has really, I believe, allowed people to have a life because of the freedom it offers.
Yes, I agree. I think the third, it's funny that you said freedom, because I think the third tip that I would give people is to set a schedule. When I first started, even now, I have to admit, my work hours is when I open my eyes and when I close my eyes.
Wow.
But I don't think that is conducive to a work-life balance, if there ever is one. And I don't think that it's good for your mental health, physical health, emotional health, or spiritual health. And that's what happened. This is why a lot of businesses, my theory at least, why a lot of businesses fail is because of burnout.
Well, and that's something people don't talk a lot about, but keep going, because that's really interesting.
Right. Burnout, you lose motivation, you lose that drive, you become tired, you kind of get what I like to call fog brain, where you can't think strategically anymore. And, you kind of just lose your mojo. And I think that if you can create a schedule, a unique schedule to you and how you operate your business, and try to stick to that as best as you can, I think it'll do wonders for people's, small business.
I love that you said that Sunday nights you plan out your week. Maybe elaborate on that a little more.
Yeah. So every Sunday I sit down with my calendar, my, handwritten calendar, my planner, because you have to write it down. We're still, even though it's 2019, 2020, our brain still needs that mental connection with
Actually, there's a study on that, confirming that information. Yeah.
So I pull up my Google Calendar and I get my planner out and I sync dates, times. I set times to meet with people. And, if they can't meet with that, then we have to reschedule or something, because, I'm a single mom. I cannot not have my son have my time. I know that sentence was all over the place, but I have to, prioritize being a mom to him and running this company. And Time management.
Family first. Yep.
Time management is key. I set hours for opening and answering emails. I set hours for having coffee. I set hours for doing administration work. You know, every Friday is admin day. I don't meet in.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And we get everything. Saturday I work till noon, and then I'm off noon until, and then Sunday evening I set my calendar.
So, okay, this would be tip number 4, which, so how do you actually like turn it off and be in the now?
So one thing I do is I shut my computer completely down.
Okay. But I hadn't thought about that, like turn it off.
Yes, I turn my computer off, and I leave out of my office. Like, it's a no-go zone. And then I put my phone on do not disturb.
Wow.
Especially in the morning times when I'm answering emails, because somebody will, text, or someone will call, and then I'm derailed. So, use that do not disturb button. I promise you, if you don't answer that phone, you will be fine. They will be fine. And if it's an emergency, they should have called 911 first. So you'll be fine.
Well, Elbi, you guys are really on the fast track for moving the needle in Savannah for a wonderful collaborative workspace for these small businesses. And my hat's off to you. We need this in here.
Thank you.
And again, thank you so much for being on Open for Business, and congratulations on being the Biz Pitch winner. That's huge.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
Before we leave, how can people get in touch with you?
If they go to our Facebook, our Instagram, at the Culturist Union, Culturist is spelled CULTURIST, at the Culturist Union, I will most likely respond to you.
Okay.
Or you can email us at hello@theculturistunion.com, or you can go to our website at www.theculturistunion.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and we will talk soon. Thank you.